Hello and welcome to the Virtual Elevator Pitch. This week gives me great pleasure to introduce you to Kelly and her company, BP3, which she has got 30 seconds to tell us about now. Over to you, Kelly.
So we're currently known as BP3 Underwear, but since launching in 2019, so much has happened. We're about to rebrand and relaunch as Nixi Body. So we've sold thousands of pairs of our absorbent, discreet and washable leak-proof knickers. They have a seamless scalloped edging for no VPL, which has made them very popular with active women and sports women. Our knickers give women of all ages the confidence to reach their fitness goals and to keep moving without the fear of leaks. Our knickers have been called game-changing, and we've won lots of awards, and we have amazing feedback from all of our wonderful customers.
So you provide any situation, whether it's incontinence or period, that you would then want to prevent leakage?
Absolutely, yes, but in a stylish way. The reason I started the company was because the knickers that were on the market didn't cut it for me. I still want to look nice and feel attractive.
Yeah. You know, you started this company how long ago?
Back in 2019. Yeah.
Okay. And rebranded this year.
So I'm just rebranding. I won a Women's Award for funding. So I won a grant of £10,000. So we're using that money to rebrand.
How did you get the grant? Because for people watching, they would love to know how to apply for these grants.
It was through I Fund Women and Albright and Vista Create. So they did this whole competition and you had to put yourself forward. And it was actually a competition called Refer Her. So it was bringing another female entrepreneur or businesswoman to the table. There's a lovely young girl that I've met called Aisha, and she owns a company, and I invited her along, and we actually were one of the winners in the competition. So there were 10 winners and we took along our guest, and I was one of the winners on that evening. So I won 10,000 along with another lovely lady who also won £10,000, which was to be used. It was basically, I just signed up to Albright. It was an email that I received from Albright, and I would recommend anybody, an entrepreneur, to sign up to as much as you can. There are so many facilities for women, especially. They're encouraging women to start businesses and just to do that.
You know, there was 2% of female founder businesses were invested in last year, or 2% of the funding actually went to female founder businesses, which is a slightly different stat, but it still just shows how much work. And I heard last night at this talk I went to at JP Morgan that already this year, which is we're 9 months into the year, it's exceeded last year. So there has been this greater awareness, which is really going to help women to get funding, because the hardest thing is when you have an amazing idea like you've got, Kelly, but you sort of know that you need to buy product. So your proof is about having some sales, showing there's a need in the market and being able to fund that. So I think that's inspiring to other women to hear. Since that point, do you feel now that you want to get more funding, or do you feel you want to be a bit self-sufficient for a while? And, you know, have you hired other people to join you yet?
A really difficult one, actually, because I am completely self-funded. I have another little job that paid for me to start this business, but I have got a team around me. I've got Connie. She owns part of the company now. She does all my social media and she's really, really involved with all the content. I've got a brand developer as well, which I've been able to pay for now because of the grant. We have a creative director. We're taking on a member of staff in January. So it's really going the way I wanted it to go. Really not sure whether I want to go for more funding. I know to grow the business, I need funding. At the moment, I'm very happy being bootstrapped. And that's not because I want to keep all of the profit from what I'm making for my business. I don't care about that. I want to be an all-female company. If somebody was to invest in me, it would need to be the right person. And for me, it would need to be women. This is a really personal project for me. This is something that I and lots of women suffer with, and not just leaks, obviously with periods. I've got 4 teenage foster daughters who all have periods. So this was a really big thing for me to do because of how much waste we were producing as a family. It needs to be the right people investing and understanding, you know, what women go through.
Well, you've got this personal mission that you're on, and you are a businesswoman. You know, sometimes we have to sit back and recognize you're a businesswoman. You know, you say you have another thing to fund it. I want to make this as big as you can make it. So that question of where to take funding is a really relevant one, Kelly, because I had taken funding too early in a business I did about 20 years ago, and it made me really bootstrap Trinny London. So at the beginning, you know, I did a SEIS scheme, and that's probably the most percentage I gave away of the business because it was at the least value. But then we did, for 2 years, we were what I would consider bootstrap before we then, invested in people that were going to cost us a bit more money to grow the business. But by then also, you will know the areas of the business well, and you will know what you want to infuse in the ethic of your business and your team. And it gives you a better idea of who you need to hire. So then you make fewer mistakes, I think. And there's a delicate balance, because if you bootstrap too long, you chug along and then you really want to accelerate and you think, oh God. So it's a moment to think about of when it should be, but I think you're getting there in your thought process.
Yeah, that's so helpful. I appreciate that. And you understand, as a woman, these projects are so personal to you, aren't they? And it needs to be the right people. So so swayed, I'm not sure what to do.
I know. You know what I feel in life is, there you are, and I think it says a lot about you that when you said that statement that you have 4 foster children and they're girls. And I think that there's different ways that we can be successful to give back more, and there's something very empowering about that. So when I look at the future Trinny London, I look to a stage where I will personally have enough money that I can personally fund female projects, and this, in a way, the elevator pitch is the beginning of that. Give a platform, give a more of a voice to companies that are really interesting and going places, and then at some stage follow that through with being able to invest. Because I think that, having been in front of predominantly male investors on the sort of 30 companies I went to see to get one investor, I know that the more it is a product or a service just focused on a very female sector, you're really aware that you want somebody to understand that market. And if they are a part of that market already by just being a woman, that's helpful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, good luck. And I can't wait to hear more.